It's your one and only one, Dhyutidhara Bandooni, signing back again. And it is very cold in this part of India, but still I am gonna record this video. And let's get back to the topic. This video is again on dimensions, and I also want to correct my mistake in the previous dimension video that I made about 2D dimensions. In that video at the end I said bigger dimensions can look at small dimensions, but I was wrong. We can only see 2D and 1D because they're part of our world. So that's a little mistake I did. But now you know that what the actual answer is. So let's get back on track. Today I'll talk about dimensions again, and specifically I'll talk about 2D and how to make a 4D hypercube. So let's begin. First of all, this is the premise of Edward Abbott's 1888 novella Flatland, which talks about the trials and tributes of a square, 2D square, exposed to the third dimension. So let's begin. 3D has length, width, and height. And a quick refresher. Okay? For our purposes, a dimension is a direction. So a point is 0 dimensions, a line is 1, a square is 2 dimensions, and a cube is 3 dimensions. Just quick refresher. Now, the square in the second dimension has only one eye, as do all the other squares and all the other shapes in the second dimension, or specifically 1888 Flatland novella. Well, they see just a line. You thought they'd see 2 dimensions? No, they just see a line. And that line gets colored in depending on what they see. And Flatland is populated by geometric shapes, from isosceles triangle to equilateral triangles, squares, circles, pentagons, hexagons, all those shapes. And if a triangle goes in the square protagonist's point of view, the triangle will look, like green maybe yellow. But if another square comes in, it will look different from the triangle. It will be a different shade of yellow at least, or it can be a totally different color like green, red, whatever. A square looks different from circle looks different from square, and so on. That is how they recognize people, and closer objects are brighter, and that's how they see depth. I hope you're understanding this far. Okay? So, if a 3D sphere comes into Flatland and it passes through Flatland like this, and this is a square, it passes through Flatland like this, the square will see a short blue line with dark edges around, like here, and blue, bright blue here, if the square was blue, and then it will get bigger and bigger until it was halfway through, and then smaller and smaller. Now you can think of this as, one second. You can think of this as 2D cross sections of 3D objects. You see, small, bigger, biggest, smaller, small. If I do it multiple times with extreme precision, you will see it will end up with a sphere. This is an oval, but yeah, you'll end up with a sphere. Okay? Now you see that will blow his little square mind, because they'd absolutely vehemently deny the existence of 3D objects because it's not part of their world or experience. Okay? So, if the sphere lifts the square into the third dimension, he can see the shapes of buildings, all the precious gems hidden in the earth, and even the insides of his friends, which is probably pretty awkward. Yeah, it's pretty awkward. Now, the square begs his host, the sphere, to help him visit the fourth and higher dimensions. But the sphere says no to just the mere suggestion of fourth dimensions, let alone higher dimensions, and exiles the square back to Flatland. Now, the sphere's indignation is understandable. It's hard for us to go to 4 dimensions. Like almost pretty impossible actually. I would say almost impossible. It's absolutely impossible because we're 3D. Unless we have like future science in our hands and break the laws of physics. Okay? So that is why the sphere exiled him back to Flatland. Pretty simple. But we can get close to getting the 4th dimension. I'll show you. Well, 0 dimensions, point. Now take the point and extend it 1 inch and we have a 1D line. Take the entire line segment and extend it out 1 inch and you have a square. Take the whole square, and square is 2D, take the whole square and extend it out 1 inch and we have a cube. Like this does look like a cube, but it's supposed to be 3D, okay? Well, you see the pattern, you take the entire thing and extend it 1 inch in a particular direction. For our purposes, a direction is a dimension, and for a direction to be a dimension, it has to be at right angle to all other dimensions that we already drew. So take the whole cube, extend it out 1 inch, this time perpendicular to all the other existing dimensions that we drew, and we got a 4D hypercube, also called a tesseract. Now we can do the same for the sphere, but we can't do it. We can do it, but not fully. Remember how the square did 2D cross sections of 3D object? We can do 3D cross sections of a 4D object. So it will start as a tiny sphere, and then it will go bigger and bigger until it's halfway through, and then smaller and smaller until it disappears. Well, in this video you learned the tesseract, 4D hypercube, and a 4D hypersphere, a 3D equivalent of a 3D sphere. And so that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, I got my mistake in the previous one. So I hope you have a better understanding of the dimensions as a whole. So now we're very close to entering the 4th dimension. So this is the end of the video. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any new knowledgeable videos like this one you just watched. And for now, bye!